You started small, a little help here, a balance there, just to get through the month. And somewhere along the line, it stopped being small. Today, I'm opening a letter from someone who knows exactly what that feels like. And we're going to get to the root of it. Honestly, with practical steps, but also view it from a kingdom perspective, from the kingdom lens. This is Hello Misola, and you're welcome to another episode. Hello Misola. As I tried to meet up with my visa payments and some other commitments, I've now found myself in so much debt. What started as something really small has grown into such a large amount, and I'm not sure what to do. I'm now in so much debt. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to say something that you might not like to hear, but I say it with love, and we're going to let love lead. Let me land. You're here because of the choices you made and the money management habits that you're yet to build. And I want you to take accountability, but I also want you to understand that it's not your fault. You don't know what you don't know. Most of us, majority of us, were not financially literate when we moved into the country. All we heard was, okay, let us get our footprints, and let's just build up our credit history. That was all we heard. And so it's not your fault. But you need to take some sort of accountability and responsibility. There are some money management principles, some money habits, some stewardship that you're yet to build and you've not built it. And that is why you're here. If we understand that you're here today because of the choices you made yesterday, it would now help you to make better choices tomorrow. No, make better choices today so that tomorrow is better. But I want you to know this, I've been right where you are. My own debt story didn't start dramatically. It started small, it started quietly. And I wanted some sort of credit history. I wanted to build my footprints. That was what we said then. And you know how it is when you just entered into the country, like nobody knows who you are. So go and register on the electoral roll. So I built one and I got a credit card. And then came the visa applications. And then there were restrictions, based on my own kind of visas. Long story. And so there was, couldn't access this, couldn't work at this point and all of that. So what started like, okay, it's a £200 credit card. Oh, you've been good. We want to increase your limit. Increased it to 750. You've been good. We want to increase your limit. And then it got to 2,000. And one day I couldn't get it anymore. So I understand how you got there. I'm not judging you. I've been there. But I also know that dwelling on how you got here, it's not going to help you. It's not going to get you out. Because debt is something that we tend to be so hard on ourselves for the longest time. It's not a matter of tough love. Yes, tough love is great. I gave you tough love at the beginning. But yeah, how do we get out of it? Because the more you sit in that, you're just giving yourself tough love and there's no solution. So you just keep feeling bad and feeling terrible with yourself. So learn from it, forgive yourself, and let's move forward. And I'm here to help you move forward. So what do you do next? Anyway, let's view it from a kingdom perspective. Let's hear what God has to say. You know that Sunday school, God has something to say. Let's hear what God has to say. Now, there is a verse I want you to hold on to whilst we do this work together. It is Hebrews 13 verse 5. Don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. So read that part. Yes, don't love money, because it's easy for you to focus on the first part. Read it. Don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. But read it again. He said, I will never fail you and I will never abandon you. But it's not that I will never fail you once you've paid your debts off. It's not I will never abandon you once you've got your finances sorted. No, that's not what he's saying. Right now, in the middle of this, he's not failing you and he has not abandoned you. So I want you to give yourself freedom from that debt. Now, when I gave my story, I could easily say, yes, I went into debt because it was not my fault, because I had visa applications and all of that. There is something I tell myself now, that if I knew God the way I know him now, then I would have leaned on him more and stopped trying to figure out how I can do all of these things myself and pay for this visa fees and just be sinking myself into more debt and more debt because I was trying to make visa applications. I wanted to do this. I wanted to stay here. There is always another way out. If only we can look at things from God's perspective and lean in and allow him to do his work. I did it on my own. I honestly did it on my own up until a certain point. So What I'm saying here is I did not get into debt because I wanted to buy the next designer bag. And you might be in debt not because you were buying clothes, you were buying designer bags and all of that. It might be a legit reason, but all I'm saying is yes, there was still a decision to make at that point in time. And then we decided, because you're not alone in this, we decided that getting into more debt was the answer. So all I'm saying is this is the root cause. But also, he will not leave you and he will not abandon you. So let's do it much more than a payment plan. Let's just be anchored in this, that he's going to get you out of this. So let's move on to the practical steps. What are you going to do? What is the next thing that you need to do? Step 1, spend time on your identity with God. And I want you to do this because I don't want you to sit down and just identify yourself as someone who is in debt, or I've got a default on my credit profile and all of that. It does not define who you are. It doesn't. You need to identify yourself and view yourself from the lens with which God is looking at you. Who are you? Who are you? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a child of God. You were born for such a time as this. You're a king. So you are a conqueror. You're redeemed. Look at yourself from that perspective. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, always behind, always in crisis, you will manage your money as someone who is always struggling, always behind, and always in crisis. God did not design for you to be defined by your debt. No, you're not your balance, you're not your credit score, you are not the sum of your worst financial decisions. I want you to spend time, real time, connecting with God. And if you don't know how, just say, God, show me how you want me to do it. But it starts with just reading the word, getting to know more about him, and being curious. He would answer that curiosity for you. That's step 2. Don't avoid the difficult conversations with your creditors. No, don't. And I know this one is uncomfortable. Nobody wants to call up and speak to somebody they owe. But really, creditors would rather have that conversation with you. They would rather have a plan in place. I should have known this, but when it was my turn, I honestly did not want to speak to anybody. That conversation, I don't know, but it made me so uncomfortable. There was something it did to me that I would rather they give me a default than have that conversation. And that was the mistake I made. They have teams. These are your lenders. They have teams, practically. They have teams that are trained for this. They would give you some sort of promise to pay for 30 days to see if you can sort it out and get a payment plan in place. And they will set up a payment plan for whatever you can afford right now. As long as you don't go to loan sharks or this payday loans. I don't have experience and I don't know. They probably are regulated by the FCA as well. So they would not put you under pressure and create more financial difficulty for you. So don't avoid those conversations. Those conversations are hard, but that's the next step for you. And step 3 is default is not the end of the world. So what am I saying? Sometimes when you realize that, okay, this is the repayment plan. Okay, an example is you have a car finance loan and then you fell into financial difficulties, something happened, whatever it is, you're now in debt and you're like, okay, let me have these conversations. You've had the conversation and you're like, okay, this is what I can afford. And then they realize that whatever you can afford right now, the term of the loan is 5 years. It will take you beyond the term of that loan. So what they would say is, okay, you need to be defaulted. And that's a mark on your credit file for 6 years. Don't avoid it. It's not the end of the world. Yes, it would impact your ability to get more credit, your ability to get a house, if maybe buying a house is on your radar, on your plan, but 6 years come and go. It's not the end. It affects your credit file for 6 years. That's significant, but it's survivable. Your life would not stop. It does not impact your ability to put food on the table. It might impact your ability to get financial institution jobs, but it doesn't. You can even just explain to them you have a payment plan in place. It does not. It's not the end of the world. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do to get by, to move on. Stop letting debt define you. You're working a plan. Step 4, earn more. So I'll say it plainly. Sometimes the gap between what you owe and what you earn is the real problem. You can work your budget perfectly, but inflation has happened, so much has happened, and you don't have enough to breathe, let alone build. So we need to talk about income. And there's a video that I uploaded this week. Someone was talking about how do I get this high income, high paid jobs, or high income jobs. I forget what they call them, but jobs that pay you more money. How do I get it? Or how do I break in or transition into tech? Go and watch that video. I'll put it up here. But let me break it down quickly. There are 3 models that you can implement to earn more. You can earn more from what you already do. So you have that experience, find a better job, right? Or look at your skills and how you can transfer them. That's something on the side. You can start a business. Yes, you need money to start a business, but there are things you can start, right? And thirdly, you can now start something that pays you in a longer term. So it's like wealth. Are you wanting to start investing in property? Although as I say this now, like, you need money to invest in property. And I want you to understand this. Your income is not fixed. It's not a ceiling. It's a starting point. And then step 5, don't stop believing in miracles. Stand on the promises. I say this because yes, they've given you a default for 6 years. Anything can happen in 6 years. Your life can literally change overnight. And I'm not talking about sitting back and waiting for a check or money to come down from heaven. There was one time I really needed money. We were about to start our service accommodation business and we needed that money to start. And I kept praying. I was like, God, where's this money going to come from? We needed £7,000. And I honestly, the way the money came was different from what I was thinking, because yes, I was praying to God for the money to come, but I already had it in my head. And maybe, you know, these videos you see on Instagram where somebody will just, excuse me, do you have a pound? And then you give the person a pound, like, oh no, just take, like, no, I was just, you know, those videos. So I thought somebody would just see me on the road and give me like 10,000. That was legit the way I was thinking I was going to get that money. It didn't come that way. It came another way. But the point I'm making is it might not come the way you want it to come. And I'm not talking about money just coming like just dropping. Somebody will just give you a check somehow. But his ways are not our ways. Your life can literally change. But get that default so that you can put your head above water and you can breathe. Set up a payment plan and pay what you can afford to pay. And what I'm saying is, work out the plan, stay on the plan, and believe that God has got your best interest at heart. He's faithful. Hold on to that. Now, before I let you go, let me leave 2 scriptures with you, and I'm going to read it out. The first one is Isaiah 41 verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. You don't have to white knuckle your way through this. He is with you. The second scripture is 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. The temptations in your life are not different from what others experience. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, He will show you a way out so that you can endure. Stand on these promises. I tell you, there is a way out and God is already building it. Best believe. You cannot see it. You will not see it, but just best believe that He's already building it. I can sit here and tell you so many instances in my life beyond that and like testimonies about when I was trying to do things and I was worried, but He was doing things at the back end, planning it out. You know, there are circumstances in your life where you've seen that He was working things in the back end and you're like, it makes sense now when it's unveiled. So you just have to believe that. Best believe. And you're not the first person to be here. You're not the first person to be defaulted. You're not the first person to go into an IVA. You're not the first person to be declared bankrupt. People come out of it. You're not alone. Because sometimes when you're going through this, you have that tendency to feel like you're carrying the whole world on your head. You're the only one. That's the enemy. That's the lie of the enemy. He exaggerates your challenges so much and you feel like, oh, it's overwhelming. It's just me. I can't breathe. You're not alone. We just don't walk around telling you what is what is happening. But everybody is going through a lot of things, which is why we have to be kind as well. Does not relate to this, but I just had to put that in. Now, if today's episode helped you even a little, I'd like to read your letter next. If you've got some sort of challenge you're going through as an immigrant here in the UK, I'd like to read your letter next. Click the link in the description below. We would be looking at that possibly in the next video, but best believe that I read every one of your letters. Just click the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this episode as well, why don't you subscribe to this channel? It really does help my channel grow. We started this journey. We're going from 0 to beyond, right? And yes, give this video a like, give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that what I'm doing is helping you, is helpful, and it gives me the courage to put out some more. And finally, share this with someone that you know needs to see this so that they understand that this is not the end of the world. If this video makes you feel even just a little bit better and gets you to take action and pick up the phone and call those people and get on some sort of plan, then my work here is done. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.